Right, it's a bit different, isn't it? So, I thought I'd potentially start doing a little bit more with the channel other than just boomer shooters, maybe some older retro games and things like that. So, something I remember from many, many years ago. My brother and I used to have an Atari ST back in the day. We still got it, to be honest. It's not in the greatest of conditions. It once had a 1 megabyte upgrade, and then that upgrade broke. And I don't even think it's got half a mega RAM now. It still works, but games that require 1 meg stop working. And games that, well, should run fine with half a meg, some of those play up as well in a very similar way. So something went wrong there. But for about a day, we could play 1 megabyte games. And back in those days, we couldn't really afford to get it fixed twice. So, yeah. Anyway, this is Beast Busters. We bought this. It's a bargain bin game, I believe, back in the day. And it's absolutely, you know, as basic a shooter as you could possibly imagine. By shooter, I mean the whole sort of what would have been a light gun game if it was a console, I suppose, but was in fact, you know, mouse controlled on the Atari ST. So this is emulated, and yeah, okay, there is a slight filter on the graphics here to give a slight TV effect. Reason for that is many of the effects, the graphical effects of older consoles back in the day, relied on the fact that we were playing on a slightly blurry CRT monitor. So this will look a lot closer to how it's supposed to than it would if it was pixel perfect. But let's head in. It's probably going to ask me to insert a disc. If I can get it to start, that would be great. Yeah, we don't seem to have any life. Now, I have played this already. I know it works. To be honest, the game just started. Maybe there's an issue with me letting the title screen run. So, I'll be back after a shortcut, and hopefully I'll have the game working then. Right, got it working. I don't know what was causing it. I rebooted and it seems to be working now. So, yeah, Spooky Town. People go in, they don't come out again. We need to work out what's going on, and it becomes very, very quickly apparent exactly what is going on. Here we go. So, it's mouse controlled shooter similar to Lethal Enforcers or Operation Wolf, and fortunately it has auto fire. Some of these games don't, but holding the mouse button does at least keep repeatedly firing, so you're having to constantly click and end up with RSI. You do have grenades as well. As you can see, I've picked up a few of those. Oop, I could probably afford to use them. And the reason why the fire rate changes, from what I can tell, is slowdown, because the good old Atari ST seems to struggle with this game, especially in moments like this. And shoot out the windows, and you get a zombie appear whenever that happens. So whether it's a good thing to shoot the windows, shoot! I was holding the button and it wasn't doing anything. Look at the slowdown. This is pretty accurate. This emulation, I've got to admit, it did slow all the way down like this when we used to play it back in the day. As you can see, it's also quite gory, which teenage me appreciated. There's something about this game did feel quite adult. And yeah, all the blood was, well, that's probably it, wasn't it? It is weird playing this on an emulator without hearing the drive whirring, but this is where it would be loading, the black screen. And slight change of venue. We're now in a tunnel, it seems, and struggling to keep all of the enemies at bay and collect the items at the same time. I mean, there is no way you can do this without taking damage. It's co-op. You can have a second player, That second player, unfortunately, would be relegated to a joystick. Let's try grenade, shall we? Oh, missed that. Try grenade. If you fired them through the knives on the screen where I could see them, I might actually be able to hit the things. There we go. It turns into a dog. And we can shoot these explosions, which do at least spend more time on the screen rather than off the top of it, it seems. Or did I speak too soon? Yeah, I spoke too soon. Whenever you run out of ammo in a magazine, let's throw a grenade. You lose the auto fire. There we go. Zombie dog done. We must go back. Back where? Back out or back to the place we just were? I'm assuming out. This level I have fond memories of. It's the one I think it is. It's the street level, I believe. We'll find out once it's finished loading, I guess. Nope. Okay, it's this one first. I have less fond memories of this, although that bit at the start where they fall through the window is kind of cool. But this tends to go on quite a bit. You can at least shoot birds holding those guys. It's a lot easier than trying to kill the guy dangling from the bird, because the bird takes one shot, whereas the guys take a few. Yeah, there are different types of grenades. I've just picked up a new one, so we'll try that out in a second once we've got a few enemies on it. Let's give it a go. Cool. A missile. Let's try that. Shoot the Molotovs. Quite interesting that these guys are zombies, but they're quite capable of using guns and making Molotovs, it seems. Also, where this ammo and these grenades are coming from, I don't know. So, this was an arcade machine. You know, an arcade game, sorry, originally. Made by SNK. I believe it was a Western company that did the conversions. Called something like T19, I believe. I should have looked at that first, shouldn't I, really? But it's not massively unfaithful compared to the arcade game. Obviously, the arcade game would have had a real light gun, and there is no such thing for the Atari ST, to my knowledge. This was obviously designed with the mouse, and unfortunately for player 2, the joypad, or joystick, I suppose it would have been back in those days, in mind. But yeah, the crosshair is sluggish when using a controller. It really is. Slowly glides around the screen. There is also something kind of peculiar in the way that the Atari ST is set up. The right mouse button and the solitary fire button, you only have one fire button on joysticks or controllers for the Atari ST, are the same button. So in theory, and this was picked up on in the ST format review of the game, where they gave it 64%, I believe, this can sort of be used to your advantage. So you can start a two-player game, which gives you access to player 2's stock of grenades. You can just press the corresponding key, I think it's caps lock, to throw player 2's grenades out. And you can use the right mouse button should any enemy happen to wander under the crosshair for player 2. Using the right mouse button, obviously, is just the fire button for player 2 as well. So it gave you quite an advantage, and it was described as a method of cheating in the ST format review. It had like those sort of little boxes where they write something slightly different about the game underneath, just under the review, telling you how they did that. And their technique was to, when they knew a level, move the crosshair quickly at the start of the level to where they believe it will be the most useful, and then occasionally hit the right mouse button to fire a few shots in that direction. Some of these levels do have situations where you can kind of predict a lot of enemies are going to show. Some of the boss fights as well. You know, you don't have to move the mouse much, and you can just pop the joystick, sort of reticle into the right area, and get twice the firepower. I am obviously playing a single-player game. If I knock the right mouse button, it would start a two-player game. But come on, let's play it properly. But yeah, I told you this level drags. In terms of the graphics, though, I mean, yeah, it's a bit shoddy by today's standards, and a lot of that is down to the limitation in the colour palette, but it's not bad for the Atari ST. There are worse shooters than this, trust me, on the Atari ST. Will this level ever end? I want my street level, I quite like that. It's a fun bit, which I seem to remember also really slows the... there we go, boss fight time. Right. These guys aren't as tough as they look like they're going to be honest. But it helps if they don't slow the ST right down to throw another grenade in. Oh, I am dead, apparently. Ooh. Entering my name with the mouse, that's never going to work. Right, let's continue. And he's dead. Gory finish there. I think it makes me swap discs at this point, so yeah. Right, I'll be back. We're back. Oh, they're missing indeed. And they can't just be the missing, otherwise, what killed the first one? I'm thinking way too deeply into this. And we're loading again, but this is the level that I was talking about. I'm sure it is now. I don't know why I liked this level so much as a kid. I think it just reminded me more of some of the arcade shooters that I'd seen. It reminds me a bit of Operation Wolf as well. I seem to remember there were projectiles thrown onto the screen with that. You can shoot these fire hydrants. I don't know what they do. And yes, you saw that building flash. This is the bit that I remember absolutely destroying the frame rate. It really is struggling, isn't it? But there was stuff, there it is, hidden amongst. So the whole point of that is just to get some secret items. Probably make more sense if items were rare, but they're all over the place, aren't they? Reminds me a bit of Terminator 2, the arcade game. Alright, this can be brilliant. I don't really know what's going on here. See, is it the same group of zombies jumping up and down? Or are identical groups of zombies jumping out the back of this truck? How short was that level compared to the previous one, though? We're loading again. Can't remember what the next level is. I don't remember how far we got either, to be perfectly honest, back in the day. Oh, this... I don't remember this at all. Oh, I do. Oh, I have seen this before. I'm guessing we didn't get this far very often. So these zombies appear to be able to drive cars. This is damn near impossible, isn't it? Those cars do a lot of damage, it seems. I don't know why we're on a... Is this a railway? Why we stopped for these bikers, but yeah, I do remember these bikers being a thing. him when he's back. There we go. One bullet left. Let's just reload by firing it. Genuinely don't remember getting this far as a kid. Although there was something familiar about those bikers, so we must have done. These guys who fall backwards when you shoot them first time and then get back up. Yes, I remember these fish. We did get this far. And my mouse stopped shooting at that point. So much slowdown. And these guys up here, I don't even know if they're actually hurting me. Probably are. And I'm dead. So I guess that answers the question. Continue. Is the boat easier to kill than the person? Yeah, I think it is. Slow down. That hole where it reloads a magazine, it stops the auto fire thing, got me there. Oh, yeah, I remember this. This is freaky. Let's get some grenades on there. Slow down. Grenade. Well, that was unpleasant. Is it going to ask me for disc 3 at some point now? Not yet. And we're back in this one of these pipe places. Sewer this time by the looks of it. Oh yeah, I remember these guys. So it's just my memory failing me. I did play this quite a bit. The only problem I have with my recollection of this game is I believe I was off school at one point. And so was my brother, and we both got a sickness bug. And therefore, something about this game reminds me of that time. I always feel slightly sick. I don't know how many lives I'm going to have, whether I can do this forever or... It said 5 credits at the start of the game, so I'm wondering if... Hey, stop firing. Yeah, these bad guys are getting weirder. Just a solitary naked blue man. Can't hit that thing, let's just hit it with grenades. The exact opposite problem beforehand. The slowdown was actually helping a bit, but now all of a sudden it's too fast for me. And we're out of grenades, so we're gonna have to do this manually. There we go. Hand hurts. Right. Let's look. To be perfectly honest, by now I'll be getting the hell out of here, I think. But they're going further into the factory. Another loading screen. Maybe the loading screens are just blank on this. Try that grenade. Oh yeah, it's like a electric grenade. I don't remember those guys. Those weird mud people in the background. there's no music throughout the game. Title screen music seems pretty damn cool. So the Atari ST was obviously limited. There's only a few sound channels to deal with. Having these with satellite, we've got a mixture of digital sound effects and a bit of a noise channel potentially. I'm dead. Well, I'm dead. Yeah, you wouldn't really be able to get both sound and music running very easily. So that was Beast Busters. Not so sure if I'd have got further if I'd have used PC Format's little cheaty right mouse button to fire Play 2's weapon trick. But yeah, it's not something I'm going to be doing as a regular series necessarily, looking at these older games, but I did say I'd throw something new in, something a bit different at some point this week. I do apologise, it's been a while, but I was hoping to get something out earlier, but yeah, hopefully it'll add something, a bit of variation to the channel rather than just old shooters. So hope you enjoyed that. That was Beast Busters.